welcome to WildNewJersey.tv. I'm Christy Sabins.
And I'm David Wheeler. A decade into the 21st century, the state of New Jersey is undergoing a fundamental and surprising transformation. Wildlife is returning to our forests and fields, our rivers and streams, our mountains and beaches. From bobcat and black bear to golden eagle and glossy ibis, wildlife is reclaiming our nature areas and urban centers alike.
And nowhere epitomizes the Garden State's recovery, like the Raritan River, the longest river solely in the state. Here in the Raritan watershed, bald eagle, peregrine falcons, and osprey fly through our skies in search of their next meals.
That's right, Christy. Once endangered and nearly extirpated from the eastern half of the United States, these raptors, again, are regular sightings along the Raritan. That's what Nellie Sapora and New Jersey Audubon Society learned firsthand on the first ever bird survey of the lower Raritan in 2009.
We found two endangered species, the black skimmer and the northern harrier. The black skimmer was seen right up the river, right up that way. The northern harrier was seen along the marshes down there. Those are both endangered species, and there's some of the cooler species for people to see.
Did you hear what she said? The birds here can feast on striped bass and bluefish in these world-class fishing grounds. As the fish and crab rebound, the larger predators follow suit.
You're not kidding, Christy. Sea turtles again swarm Raritan Bay, and pilot whales and bottlenose dolphins are regular sightings here. The wildlife rebound is only made possible by vast improvements in water quality and restored habitat along the riverfront.
Right-o, Dario. And though the water isn't clean enough for families to eat what they catch, they are improving, thanks to clean water laws and toxic cleanups. And the newest wave sweeping the Raritan are Brownfield to Greenfield projects like the Edgeboro landfill.
This notorious landfill was once feared statewide as a Wild West garbage dump where just about every harmful substance known to man could be buried. For decades, each high tide washed along its banks and washed off trash and debris, choking off marine life and polluting the Raritan River. By 2007, Bob Spiegel and Edison Wetlands Association had enough.
Our advocacy helped not only clean this area, but fund 14 separate supplemental environmental projects, or SEPs. And this is a great example of what groups and individuals can do when they go and work on a specific problem to improve the Raritan River.
Spiegel initiated a legal action, and the resulting settlement funded over a dozen environmental projects within the Raritan watershed. And that Edgeboro landfill stabilized an entire mile-long stretch of riverfront, replacing leaking garbage with restored native trees and vegetation. The newly restored fruit-bearing trees now offer a prime riverfront habitat to cedar waxwings, a variety of swallows, and other migrating birds. No surprise that Edgeboro landfill is considered a hidden gem among hardcore birders allowed to bird the property once a year, spotting birds like barn owl and peregrine falcon. Across the river, the public's only way to reach the Raritan for the past century was a small parking lot with a dock that serves as the Edison Boat Basin. For 100 years, that was it. Everywhere around it were landfills: Edgeboro, Edison Landfill, Kinbuck Landfill Superfund Site, ILR Landfill, a veritable valley of the dumps. Edison Wetlands spent 7 years working with the state of New Jersey, Middlesex County, the Township of Edison, and Conservation Resources Incorporated to change that. In April 2010, the Edison riverfront was changed forever with the opening of a half-mile riverside trail replete with a butterfly garden, swallow nest boxes, benches, kiosks, a footbridge, and a gazebo. The families of Edison can finally enjoy the beauty of the Raritan River.
Today we stand here at the Edison Boat Basin, ready to open the ramp that goes out to the beautiful gazebo, and it's because of the work of many individuals. Of course, the Edison Wetlands Association has been instrumental in moving this project forward.
The Edison Riverfront Walkway's first phase is complete. Future phases will provide additional trails, restored wetlands, scenic overlooks, and a kayak and canoe launch.
I think that students should really see it as a recreation opportunity, as a chance to get out and be outdoors right in your own backyard, as opposed to needing to drive to North Jersey or New York in order to go hiking or see birds or anything like that.
Just as more work remains to be done in Edison, the Raritan watershed hardly has a clean bill of health. Many toxic sites have been cleaned up, but other sites continue to pollute the estuary. Superfund sites like Imperial Oil in Marlboro, Cornell Dubilier Electronics in South Plainfield, and American Cyanamid in Bridgewater remain threats to the environment and potentially to public health. Yet environmental leadership and an active citizenry is ensuring that progress is being made on these long-term cleanups. Urged by local groups such as Edison Wetlands, federal elected officials like Senators Frank Lautenberg and Robert Menendez and Congressman Frank Pallone worked to bring over $100 million in stimulus funding to these cleanups, jump-starting the work under the able guidance of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's Region 2.
As we see, things happen when the funds are there, and the people who are responsible for the pollution and for the damage ought to pay for it. It's as simple as that.
Perhaps the most threatening site of all is the Raritan-based slag Superfund site. Here along old bridges in Sayreville's bayfront, massive slabs of toxic lead slag sit along the swimming beaches and fishing jetties, leaching toxic chemicals into the bay waters with each new wave. EPA scuba divers studied the expanse of the toxic slag, and New York, New Jersey Baykeeper, Edison Wetlands, Raritan Riverkeeper, Clean Ocean Action, and other environmental groups are working to ensure the cleanup is not delayed or weakened by local pressures. The EPA had to close down these beaches indefinitely, hurting the local economy for Lawrence Harbor, but protecting the community's children from unknowingly swimming in toxic waters.
There's no better environment to protect than for the children that are on the swing sets. You know, they shouldn't be out here dredging the area. They should be out here cleaning it up, taking out the slag. And that's the bottom line. Get out the poison and get rid of